It was a tough watch for everyone connected with Newcastle. What went wrong?
Yeah, it was a really dire night for Newcastle. They were poor from start to finish. As soon as they walked out onto the pitch, they were beaten in every department. There was a lack of fight, lack of desire, a lack of wanting to do the basics, what you have to do at any football match, let alone going to one of the top teams in the country who are going for the title. You've got to stick together. You've got to close players down and try and make it as tough as possible for the opposition. And Newcastle just didn't do that. I mean, it's as bad as I've seen them in an Eddie Howe performance. There was just nothing to say that was positive about it. It was pretty rotten, to be honest, in the first half, and they got absolutely battered from Arsenal. Could have been more, should have been more, and that he's using the polite words, Eddie, saying we were off it, we weren't at the races or whatever. I mean, the language that I used was dreadful, shambolic, all of those things, but there hasn't been many times, if any, that we've said that about Eddie's team. I mean, yes, they're shipping in goals for fun and far too easy to play against. But at least at times they had a little bit of hunger and a little bit of fight about them when they are conceding those goals. But that wasn't there tonight, and that wasn't acceptable.
That Arsenal have become the first team in Premier League history to score 2 or more goals in 7 consecutive halves of football. The first time in Premier League history. I'm talking to the man of the match, the metronome that made it all tick. How good does it feel playing with a team like this? And how happy are you with your performance?
I'm really happy, not just with my performance, but with the team, because the team performed very well. And this wouldn't happen without everyone, and it's just a pleasure to be out there and enjoying this moment, this journey with this incredible team. And I think the atmosphere at the Emirates with the fans is getting better and better, and it's incredible, and it feels just so good.
After that first leg against Porto, people were talking about your in-game management. What a reply. Just beautiful from end-to-end football. Ben White providing your chemistry with Dek, Ødegaard, Saka. A beautiful performance. Yeah,
I think we had a great performance today. Unfortunately, we conceded a goal that we didn't want to. But we are, as I said, we are just really happy. And the thing that we want to do is carry on the way we are doing, stay humble and keep improving, because we have margins to improve, of course, but we are just so happy and we need to just keep pushing.
Bukayo Saka, the first English player since Ian Wright to score in 5 consecutive Premier League games. Is he world class?
No words for me. And he fully deserves, because he works so hard and he's an amazing guy. And everyone is just so happy for him. When we see him flying like that, it's just a pleasure. And we all just wish him the very best, because he fully deserves it.
Jorginho, you went to the Champions League final against Manchester City and were considered underdogs. You were in the European final with England and they opened the scoring at home and considered underdogs. You were in those dressing rooms. You're in this dressing room. Everyone thinks Arsenal are the underdog. What have you seen? What do you believe? Can you go to the Etihad? Can you win? Can you take it all the way?
I like to be the underdogs. Let them speak. And we just need to stay humble and keep working hard in the shadow, and keep pushing and believe, because that's what we need to do. Just keep pushing, and then we'll see where we're going to get, but we are on the right path.
Mikel Arteta, you've worked under some great managers. Tell us about him. How good is he?
I think everyone knows he's a great coach, and he's doing an incredible work with this club, with this team, and how much he loves what he does. He fully deserves as well. Everything is happening, and it's a pleasure to work with everyone here, especially with him.
Be delighted with that. What did you like most about the performance? Everything, the way we started, the aggression and the positivity that we showed in our play from the beginning. We started to generate chances to go more. We scored a goal, won the second one, we went for the third, fourth one. The team didn't want to stop, you know, and you could feel that it was something there in the tummy. Today, the atmosphere was phenomenal to play a big game like we had to play against a really, really good opponent, so I'm really pleased.
And you must be extra pleased as well that despite going in at half-time ahead, the team came out with exactly the same effort in the second half too.
Absolutely, and because we know that 2-0 is not done, and is a really good team. They have a lot of tools and resources to create issues to you, and we knew that we had to get the game done, and we've done it.
Jorginho is man of the match tonight. How much did that change to the team make a difference?
Yeah, he was really good. Again, we believe that it was a game for him, for the way they are set up and the things that Georgie generates, but then it's him that has to do it, and he's done it again, and he's a fantastic player.
4 goals. I don't know if you pick favourite goals in games, but that second one, that must be exactly the type of goal you love to see as a manager.
Yeah, but I like all of them. The ones that are more scrappy, the ones that probably they don't go on YouTube, but they're as effective. Really good, because we score in different ways, and that's something really positive as well for the team.
As well as all the goals, it's now 3 consecutive clean sheets in the league. How important is that centre-back duo you've got?
Yeah, they've been always really good in all the defensive part, but we have to continue to do. We still have things to improve.
6 consecutive Premier League wins now. How far can that momentum take you?
We have now a few days, because we play the following Monday, but we need a few days to reflect, go again. It's been a very intense week, and that's a very positive way to end it.
Well, you came in the positive of Isak returning, but then obviously losing your regular goalkeeper. Assess it all for us.
Yeah, very difficult day for us. We really disappointed with the first 45 minutes. We felt we didn't compete. We didn't show our true selves. Arsenal played well and put us under pressure, but we're hugely disappointed with what we delivered in that first 45.
Yeah, and just coming into that last 5 minutes of that first 45, seemed to get a stranglehold back in that game, and just some opportunities not taken.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. There was 5 minutes where we turned up in that first half towards the end, and then in the second half I thought we played well until their third goal, which really killed the game. But we really needed to start with that attitude, with that commitment to the game, which we showed in the second period, because we show we can compete with anybody. But when any team doesn't function like we did in the first half, the game's difficult.
There was one very nice goal, but what do you take from a performance like this and a maybe lack of reaction today?
Well, we'll take a lot, I'm sure, because we'll use all the lessons that we can learn from today in a positive way and try and make us better from it. But it's a difficult period for us. We're inconsistent. You never quite know what you're going to get, which is never a good thing from my perspective. We did score a good goal at the end, and we showed character in that second half, but first half was disappointing.
I suppose the positive is you are getting key players back now. He's like coming straight back into the game. Players coming off the bench, they're going to have to get their fitness back. Yeah,
at the moment they're probably getting their fitness in the game, which isn't always ideal. But I thought Alex will be better for that 60 minutes. He needed it. We had to protect him and take him off. And we're still playing players within that team that aren't 100% fit.
Arsenal setting records, though, and beating teams that are not typically on the end of big results. How good are they? How far are they into this title race, do you believe, on what you saw today?
Well, off the back of today, I have to say they're right in the title race. They're definitely one of the best teams we've played this double.
But on the other side of the coin, Arsenal were on it, and 2 of their 4 goals set pieces again, Sean. I mean, these are a real fiery thing in their armoury.
It is, and it's just a free man, nobody marking Gabriel header. The keeper does really well to save the initial one, and then whatever happens on the line, I kind of think that the clearance should have been made. It doesn't get kicked well, it hits Botman's knee and goes in a goal. But I think throughout this game, Arsenal just took advantage of everything poor Newcastle did and capitalised on it as much as possible. And this great ball in from Jorginho there, and the cutback for me is in the perfect area. He didn't look, he just knew what area to put it in. But if you're not going to put the pressure on the ball, those sort of players can hurt you, and they did just that, Alan. That was
the problem, I mean, particularly with that goal. So the pass from Jorginho, that sort of summed Newcastle up. No pressure on the ball. And when you're playing against a team who've got really, really talented players who are great on the ball, who can pick a pass who can finish you off, then you've got to get tight. You've got to try and get in their faces. But Newcastle just didn't do that. And as I said, Arsenal dominated. They were cleverer than Newcastle from set pieces. Their movement was better. And Sean said it after the game. There are so many things you have to do right from a set piece. First of all, you've got to get the ball in, then the movement, then you've got to have the hunger to get on the end of it because people are trying to stop you and they've got to have the ability to put it away. And Arsenal are brilliant at that this season by the numbers that we've seen. 6
Premier League wins in a row, 25 goals scored in that period and just 3 conceded. So now we have a situation where the top 3 with 12 to play are separated by only 2 points. Liverpool still leading by 1 point ahead of Manchester City, who are only 1 point ahead of Arsenal. And you can see as well that Arsenal now, with all those goals in recent weeks, by 1, have the best goal difference. We're into the last third of the season. There's the immediate fixtures for them all. We're going to be looking at these week in, week out now, Sean, and all the different twists and turns and permutations.
For me, just looking at that now, it feels to me that City have the harder run. But I think with, but obviously with Europe involved as well, that I think that's going to be a spanner in the works for a lot of these 3 teams with the team rotation, what players he's going to play, how they're all going to play. I think that could be where some of these teams start dropping points.
And indeed, probably with Liverpool at the moment, with injuries, Alan, playing a part as well.
Yeah, their injury list is incredible, but they're getting through. They've still got some really, really good players coming in. But when you look at their game against City, their game against Everton away from home, their game against Manchester United, there's going to be so many twists and turns. We're going to be stood here thinking, oh, what a poor week that's been for one club and a positive for the next. It's going to be thrown around over the next few weeks.
OK, well, don't need to ask Sean, but who do you fancy out of the 3?
Well, I'm not going to change my mind from Manchester City only because of their experience. They've been.
Tell us a bit about the debrief from midweek and how much you wanted to put that right.
Yeah, I think that gave us that extra motivation today. I think also what happened against Newcastle last time gave us a little bit of extra fire today, and I think even though we felt a bit tired, a lot of games, a lot of distance covered, throughout the last games, we just wanted to come here and make a good game, give the fans a good night, and we did.
Martin, tactically, what was the difference from midweek? We were there, we watched the game, and they stifled you, and they defended very well, Porto. Yeah. What were the tactical changes from that game to today?
I mean, we tried to do a lot of the same things. I think they defended well, but I think we played, not our best game offensively. We didn't get to the final third. I don't think we get enough situations in the box, and I think today we were so aggressive. I think from the start of the game we got situations in the box, we got a few corners, we were there straight away, and Jorginho, Declan, all the players from behind, they were so good at threading between the lines. And
that was the difference today, we said.
Yeah, I think that was the difference, to get through the lines, and then we always create something, get the ball to the wingers, and all the things that happens from there is it's beautiful to see, and that's where we want to play. We want to play in the final third and create things all the time. So
can you explain to us, so obviously Jorginho is now sitting at the foot of that midfield. Does that suddenly give you a whole lot more space when Rice arrives next to you?
Yeah, I think we've been playing a few different ways the last few games. I've been dropping a bit more, and I've been there for the build-up. Today Jorginho and Deck was doing that more, and then I can stay higher up. So yeah, we can play in different ways, and today we did really good. So yeah, it was nice.
Your role, you're the captain of this team, and you're creator and everything. In terms of your role as captain, what type of leader are you? We don't hear often from yourself, so I'd love to know a little bit more about what type of leader you are in that changing room.
Yeah, no, I try to lead by example. I try to do the right things. Try to put on a good mindset, always pushing the players around me. And doing what's best for the team. That's the main thing, to get the best out of each player and to understand that every player is different and to get the best out of everyone.
110 games now, saying you're level with Arteta, the captain, appearances for Arsenal.
Yeah, that's not bad. Hopefully many more to come, So still a young man, so hopefully there's a lot more to come.
In the run-in, Rio was just talking earlier about just making sure that sort of fear element doesn't creep in because of what happened last season in this title race. How do you make sure that doesn't happen as a team, and how can you help with that as captain?
I think now is the moment to show, what we learned last season. I think the year before that we missed Champions League and we came back so strong, and we showed that we were a lot better. Last year we missed the title, as you say, and now it's the time to show that we learned something, you know. And yeah, we enjoy so much playing together. Every time we play, we're so excited, and I think that's the way, you know, to work hard every day, take it step by step, and then we'll see in the end.
I think, you know, being an ex-player, I think that the mindset is to love it. You know, you've played your whole career to be in these situations. You don't fear it. You have to love it and embrace it. And then it takes you on a great journey. Hopefully, you're in a hell of a race, by the way, with Liverpool and Man City right now. But fingers crossed you can do it.
Do you enjoy that? I mean, like we've obviously played, but now I'd love to hear from you. Do you enjoy the intensity, the running like this, where pressure's at its highest?
Yeah, I think we're all living the dream, you know. I think we've all been dreaming of being here, you know, on the biggest stage in the best league in the world. As you say, you see every week how competitive it is, how good it is, and that's where we all want to be, you know. We want to fight for trophies, and yeah, that's what we're going to do, you know, try to be there and push every day.
Don't forget to enjoy it.
Thank you.
That's it, yeah.
Cheers,
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming out, Martin Ødegaard there. He's very much in this brilliant run. Well, he is so often the heartbeat of the team, but their form has really coincided with his form being on its top level as well.
You can see why he's the captain. He's a young man. He's experienced a lot already. A massive club at Real Madrid and on loans, and there seems like a calming authoritative kind of approach from him, and that would spread nicely throughout this squad, a young squad that could be quite impressionable. And so I think he's a person, he said his first words were, "I lead by example." And there's many great captains down the years that we've seen do that, and he seems to be on the right track at the moment. Seems got a steely underlying determination as well, you could sense immediately. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this pans out and his role within that, because he's such an exciting creative player to watch as well.
They've got a good one there, haven't they, unlike the last
6 years he was at Real Madrid.
Arsenal.
6 years at Real Madrid, only played 8 games. And he came here and he's just taken the club by storm. So it just showed you Arteta really put it on the line there. Believed in him.
Absolutely. We're going to take a lovely moment with Saka and the Arsenal fans there. A tough night for Newcastle, though, so much so Martin's just apologised to me. Martin, let's look at the other goals, because 2-0 was a really lovely goal from Arsenal, wasn't it? It was Kai Havertz got it, but so much to like in the lead up to it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, Havertz. I mean, we were just talking there about Havertz, and I think the manager's really looked after him, tried to integrate him into the team. You know, at first people questioning his ability, but I think his intelligence of movement is first class. And in this goal here, you see it, Martinelli makes a really good run, not fixed like he normally is, and then he just drifts, doesn't he, into that central area, picks him out beautifully, and then it's a wonderful goal. And some of the movement today from Arsenal was exquisite. Movement, intelligent.
Is he proving a lot of people wrong at the moment? Because they have had a lot of stick. He's had a lot of stick for spending the money they did on him when people felt it would be better spent elsewhere. Yeah,
well, he's scoring goals, he's impacting games, and that's what you spend that big money for. I think the issue with some people is what is his role? I think, and that's the only thing I can really aim at him, really, where he's kind of caught between an 8/10 or a number 9, and then when are you judging him as a number 9 in terms of goals, or as the 8 or a 10, where he's more creative and the rhythm of the game? So I think right now he's in a good vein of form.
Does his strength lie in his ability to do so much then?
Yeah, I think his strength is his versatility. I think that he can fill holes and gaps, and you need that in a squad if you're going to try and win things, because if you've got people that are just rooted to one position, then that does negate from you being able to kind of move people and interchange within the game and be interchangeable in your position. So rotations are a huge part of Arsenal and the way that they play. We saw the 2 wide players. Like Martin saying, I totally agree. If the 2 wide players are stuck out wide and stay there and they're fixed out there, as a fullback, that's so much easier to mark, because I can see them all the time. The moment they're allowed to drift inside, which they did today so many times, the fullback's then thinking, right, do I pick him up? Do I follow him? Do I stay wide? Does the centre-half pick him up? When you're asking a defender that many questions, they almost have to stay in to start doing that, and their concentration levels will dip at some point. And like they did for that moment, inside Trippier, create the goal.
And I think for Havertz, it's a lonely role, perhaps, if he's there on his own. And suddenly now, and I think with Declan Rice really pressing high on that left-hand side, so it gives Arsenal a really good base to press on the left. Martinelli was like, OK, well, I'll go enjoy the front. So it's almost like you've got twin strikers. And then Saka spent a large part of the second half just in and around him. And I think he enjoys that, when he's got bodies around him, where he can use that ability he has on the ball.
And here is Saka's goal as well, which made it 3-0. And his form so often key to what they do.
Yeah, well, the goals he's scoring and the impact, again, that he's having on the team is phenomenal. But I think the upturn in form for Arsenal has coincided with Ødegaard we just spoke to, but also Saka. His form has jumped up again in that time when they're starting to really pick up. And again, when he could have moments where he goes out of the game and is quiet, but then this type of thing will happen where he'll get the ball, we'll isolate the fullback, 1v1, like Martin said, last couple of goals have been with his right foot. So defenders aren't so sure which way he's going to go now, and that makes him so much more difficult to play against.
Variation. And there he is suddenly back in the wide position, when he hasn't really been in a wide position until that point.
Yeah, 16 goals, all competitions, the most he's ever had in a single season, and there's time to get more.